So you just left him there?
Hell yeah!
It's the high point of my day. My social life is about as exciting as a homeless Halloween room.
I suppose you'd take a swing at me if I said you were just in a difficult area.
No, I'm used to hearing it.
What I don't understand is how you survived for so long without any food or water.
I wasn't there that long.
Dude, you were missing for a month.
About that. Lucis had a time compressor in his basement. So even though for the rest of the world it was like a month, for me it was only a couple hours.
So how was he able to broadcast the show?
The fucker's been hacked into my network for months. I managed to block the signal and put up a couple of firewalls, but it wasn't easy. He really is a genius. Deluded, but a genius nonetheless.
Well, I'm just glad you're all right. I got you a welcome gift for when you got back.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
Actually, it's a welcome back, sorry I didn't look for you gift.
What were you doing all that time anyway?
Oh, nothing worth talking about. I mean, it's not like I was cloning you or anything.
Wait, what?
Look, I gotta go. Talk to you later. Now, where did I put that clone disintegration gun?
This gives me an idea. Hello. Hello? Hello, and welcome to Cinematrophy.
Oh, that's... Oh! 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 That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! What the fuck did you think? What the hell I was going to do? Every time I stand in front of you! So you thought of disrespect? How far can you take that bullshit? Now it's time to get this shit on! Oh, that's wrong! Oh, that's wrong! Oh, that's wrong! That's how you run, bitch! Oh, bats! Oh, oh!
Hello and welcome to Cinematrophy. I'm Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off. Well, it's that time of year again. It's October, which means it's time for Halloween. Now I could be like every other reviewer and review a bunch of horror movies, but I like to be different. Go against the grain, if you will. So this month, not only am I going to be reviewing horror movies, but I'm going to be reviewing Blackspolation movies. Welcome to Blackoween.
Cause this daylight night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's daylight night. You're fighting for your life inside a thriller.
And what better way to start Blackoween than the mother of all Blaxploitation movies, Blacula.
Blacula, starring William Marshall, Vanetta McGee, Denise Nichols, Gordon Pinsett, Charles Macula, and Thalmus Russula, was released in 1972 by American International Pictures and was directed by William Crane, whose only other film credit is Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. We'll get to that movie later. Although it received mixed reviews upon its release, it is still to date the most well-known 70s blaxploitation film and was even followed up with a sequel. And how can you not follow up a movie with a title card like this? His bite is out of sight. I would hope so, otherwise that means he's biting people in the eye.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun!
Our movie begins on a set of Dark Shadows in 1780, where an African prince named Mamuwalde is visiting Dracula in order to gain his help in abolishing the slave trade.
I find that unrealistic. Slavery has merit, I believe.
Yeah, for you, it's called takeout delivery. The two traded, so 1700 style, which can be a little confusing, so I'm going to translate it for you.
I would willingly pay for so beautiful an addition to my household as your delicious wife.
Sir, are you ill?
Oh, I meant no insult, Prince. It is a compliment for a man of my station to look with desire on one of your color.
Sir, I certainly find your cognac as distasteful as your manner.
Let us not forget, sir. It is you who comes from the jungle.
Mama Waldy decides it's time to leave, but Dracula refuses to let him go, calling out his minions. Tinkerbell wants to come to Mama Waldy's aid, but she can't seem to fully materialize.
Let me go!
After his minions subdue Mama Waldy, Dracula turns him into a vampire and locks him into a coffin.
I shall place a curse of suffering on you that will doom you to a living hell.
Oh shit, he's gonna make him watch Vampire Diaries.
I curse you with my name. You shall be Blacula.
Originally he wanted to call him Blackenstein, but the name was already taken.
He then locks Mama Waldy and his wife in a secret room, bringing us to our title screen.
Okay, brace yourselves, people. You're about to see something that you will probably never ever see on a film again. An animation of a bat raping a woman.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
I know that's not what they were going for, but really? Nobody in post-production noticed this? Nobody?
Of course not. They were too busy trying to make sure the audience knew these guys were gay. So we cut to the present, and I assume the director thought afros and bell-bottoms would always be in style, otherwise he'd have bothered putting a date on this thing. Where 2 antique dealers are buying Dracula's house. They find a secret room containing Blacula's coffin and have the coffin shipped to LA.
Oh, if the fire department could see you now, you should have left, Queen. Oh, this. Time to open this.
You know, it's very difficult to make Serge from Beverly Hills Cop look straight. Congratulations, movie. You just succeeded.
The black guy manages to open the lock to Blacula's coffin by tapping it with his magic crowbar. Prissy Princess Power! While the white guy manages to cut his arm. This, of course, causes Blacula to wake from his coffin. I guess when you're black, becoming a vampire causes pubescent facial hair. After draining the white guy's blood in a record-setting 4 seconds, he goes after the black guy, who subsequently passes out during the struggle. I guess 200-year-old morning breath would knock anyone out. Yes. Then he just goes back into his coffin. You'd think he'd be a little curious about his new surroundings, or at the very least hide the bodies.
I always laugh maniacally when I get into my coffin. Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? I don't even have a coffin.
Sometime later at the black guy's funeral, Blacula is hiding behind the curtains when this happens. Did Blacula do that, or did it just happen? Was he there waiting for that to happen? Does he know he's a vampire and anything about vampire lore? Or is he just guessing? I mean, last time I checked, there weren't too many vampires in Africa. And if he knows that the guy was going to come back, wouldn't it be more efficient to hide the bodies rather than let someone take it? And if he's familiar with vampire lore, why would he go to Dracula's house? It's not like Dracula was using a pseudonym.
It just raises too many questions.
It turns out that one of the women at the funeral looks like Blacula's dead wife, so he decides to follow her when she leaves, while Dr. Gordon questions the mortician about the body.
Why don't you... I worked very hard on that neck wound, Doctor, trying to make it look as natural as I could so it wouldn't be offensive to his loved ones. The flesh was just torn right out in a big chunk.
Yeah, big chunk consisting of 2 tiny holes. Now we know why he's a mortician and not a medical doctor. Gordon gets suspicious of the lack of blood in the body despite not being embalmed and wants to have a look at the other body.
Thank you for your help. Glad to be of service, Doctor. Anytime you need my help, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm at your service, Doctor. That's my job. Doctor? That is the rudest nigga I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it was the 70s.
After stalking Tina for a while, Blacula decides it's time to confront her.
Lufa! Lufa, it's me. Wait!
Uh-oh, I hear 70s funk. You know what that means. Time for a chase scene. Blacula loses Tina when he's hit by a cab, and I have to say he's really adjusting well to this modern world. He doesn't seem to have any confusion or questions about anything going on around him, not even this big yellow contraption that just knocked the shit out of him. Maybe Dracula was slipping him cliff notes on the latest technology over the years.
You ain't hurt, man. Chase and tail could get you killed, you know.
Yeah, especially if a woman is driving. What? I'm just getting into that 70s frame of mind. You know, all black people live in Harlem, have afros and speak jive. The white man is the devil, and women and Asians can't drive.
Fine job for a woman. Driving a cab. Ask me, she's looking for something.
You see? What? I didn't steal him, he followed me home.
Thoroughly pissed, Blacula decides to take his frustrations out on the unsuspecting cab driver and get a 2-star meal at the same time. Jeez, he could at least bother getting her name before moving to second base.
I at least get the names of my victims before I tear into their flesh. It's just proper etiquette.
The next day, Gordon is called in to examine the body of the cab driver and notices 2 holes in her neck and the lack of blood in her body.
That's ridiculous.
Of course it is. Everyone knows Vipers don't have arms to hail a cab. Because of the puncture wounds on the 2 bodies, Gordon requests to have an autopsy done on all 3. Later that night, Gordon, his wife, and Tina are at a club when Mama Waldy shows up to return Tina's purse. I guess the list of our favorite hangouts was written on the back of her ID. He sits down to have a drink with them but leaves when someone starts taking pictures, which is odd since he's never seen a camera before in his life, so he wouldn't know its function, let alone the fact that his image wouldn't show up in a photo. Blacula follows the woman home and kills her, making sure those pictures never see the light of day. The irony is because she opened the curtain once before, the film was already ruined. Gordon finds out that the white guy's body is already buried and he was denied a warrant to dig it up, and that the black guy's body just disappeared. Gordon starts doing some research on vampires while Mama Waldy goes and visits Tina at her home.
We are of the Ibani tribe, you and I, northeast of the Niger Delta. Our people are renowned as hunters. Almost 2 centuries ago, the ruling elders of my people sent me, yes, and my bride, to Europe. On that mission, I myself was enslaved, my wife murdered, and I was placed under the curse of the undead. Our assassin was the vampire Count Dracula.
Count Dracula is a myth.
Well, she's taking this news rather well. Any normal person would have called a psychiatric ward by now, or at least kicked the fucker out their house.
I want you to rejoin me.
Can't.
Well, you must come to me freely, with love. Or not at all.
Because that would be kidnapping, and this movie refuses to cross that line. But murder, sexual assault, and bat rape are quite alright. The 2 end up having sex. Just wait until that pubescent facial hair starts popping out his face when he has an orgasm. She'll be running for the hills. While Gordon digs up the white guy's body. Since when does Scientific Investigation Division equal detective? Isn't he supposed to be working in a lab somewhere?
God damn it, 1970s. I don't expect a real looking dummy, but you could have at least gotten the color right.
He was alive! He was alive!
Finally, a real fucking reaction in this movie. Savor it, people, because it's the only one we're gonna get.
All those books. You must have known something. Why didn't you tell me?
You never would have believed me.
because she's the only one in this movie with fucking common sense. And will someone please tell a trumpet player to shut the hell up? There's nothing suspenseful about the rest of this scene. Gordon needs to convince the police captain, so he comes up with the idea of showing him the cab driver's body.
I want you to take out a deep freeze. And when you take her out, you leave the room. You make sure to lock the door, you understand?
Yeah, okay.
And of course, he leaves the door open. Oh good, not only did she take the time to get dressed before she killed him, but she tried to dry her hair by sticking her finger in a light socket. When Gordon and the police chief get there, they're attacked by the cab driver. Gordon manages to hold her off with a cross and then kills her by exposing her to the neon lights from the pawn shop across the street. Later at the club, which must be the only club in town since they're always there, they notice that the photographer is missing, so Gordon goes to her house. Finding the negative of a picture she took, Gordon realizes that Mama Waldy is the vampire they're looking for. And I'm sorry, but Tina is a complete imbecile. Not only does she know Mama Waldy is a vampire, but she's told that he killed the black guy, which was her childhood friend, and 4 other people, and she still wants to be with him. Come on! Even Bella had more sense than this.
Yeah.
They decide the best way to find Blacula's coffin is to find the black antique dealer and follow him.
Hey Danny, take a look at that fag.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Isn't that the one? Sure looks like the one.
Well, it wouldn't be a 70s blaxploitation movie without filling the prejudice quota, now would it?
How can you tell? They all look alike.
They follow him to the warehouse where they originally found the bodies. I don't know why no one bothered to check there first. When the door suddenly closes behind them.
It's a trap!
Which leads to them being attacked by an army of vampires.
Johnson! It won't do any good, it's too late! Johnson! Oh my God!
Get ready to throw these things.
Oh yeah, because that's going to do something. They're not even lit. Holy fuck! What the hell was in those things? Nitroglycerine? After setting the warehouse on fire, they escape using the same door they came in. What the fuck? You mean they could have left at any time?
Oh, not at any time. Only when it was funny.
The two run into Blacula, who tells them that he's already moved his coffin. I'm not sure if this is a dick move or a dumb move, so I'm just gonna go with both. After leaving Gordon and the police chief, Blacula summons Tina, so they follow her to an underground chemical plant. The police storm the place, and Tina ends up getting shot. This forces Blacula to turn her into a vampire. Wasn't he gonna do that anyway? Or was he gonna discard her once she turned into a prune?
Dr. Thomas! You and your dear friends are dead. This will be your inglorious tomb. Your tomb! Your tomb! Your tomb!
We heard you the first time. Don't have to repeat yourself. Thanks. God damn it. How many times was he warned not to whiz on the electric fence? Super rubber trash can attack!
Over here!
So they find Blacula's coffin just left out in the open. That's a tad bit conspicuous, don't you think? What the hell did the factory workers do when they saw that?
Joe? What's this coffin doing here? No. You think we should move it? Nah.
Whoops, they accidentally killed the bride of Blackenstein. With Tina now dead, Blacula decides that he's going to commit suicide by walking into the sun. Or he can just wait another 200 years for her to be reincarnated again. It's not like he has any morals against killing people. What's another 1,000 over the next 200 years?
Someone left the cake in the rain.
This movie is hilarious!
Blacula definitely falls into the it's so bad it's good category. The story flows smoothly but lacks basic common sense, which is what makes it so damn funny. This movie is filled with bad acting, particularly Vanetta McGee, cheesy special effects, continuity problems galore, and they even have a vampire dressed like a wizard. My guess is he was on his way to a Monsters and Mazes game. I highly recommend you put this on your must-watch list. I even left out a few gems for you guys to enjoy on your own.
I'm Don Perignon saving you from getting ripped off. Man, I can't wait until next week.
It ran one step ahead as we followed in the dance.
Chasing tail could get you killed, you know.